Oh, it's the end of it. No, it's not on
What are
right
you
now.
doing?
I'm just seeing if the I thought for some reason I thought the F1 practice one was on around now, but maybe it does it's already happened.
Oh, FP2 already happened.
But what about FP3?
I don't know. But let's not talk about this now. Let's
Okay,
stop
go
trying
ahead.
to figure out computers and start.
Well, then we better fucking take two fingers.
What is take two fingers? Dot
I was
dot
going to
dot
pretend
mean?
it was a weapon, put it in my mouth, and end my life. But that I shouldn't start a
No,
podcast off
no.
with a
Yeah,
suicide
you
joke.
can do that. You can still figure out computers, just not when we're live streaming. It's so boring.
Oh God, I didn't realize you hit go.
I didn't hit go. I
Like
waited 14 minutes for you to show up,
listen,
as usual.
listen.
And then
You
you're
don't
like, let's
understand.
figure out some technological things.
This is when. Well, then, do you want to schedule a technological figure out thing moment?
That's what we should do.
Is
But
that what you'd like?
I think that's what you would like. I think
Yes,
that's
I
what
am, but I
we
also
would
think that's what
like.
you would like.
I would like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? Maybe after this podcast, we should end it and then redo it. I love fighting with you first thing in the morning. There's nothing better.
It's almost 1 o'clock.
I'm on the West Coast. That's also the disadvantage I have. Like all of the West Coast has a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's true.
Anything
There's a
west of the
there's a
Rockies,
long list
we should
of
form our own country.
disadvantages.
California, Oregon, Washington, BC. That we're just gonna have our own country.
Yeah, enjoy it out there in the sticks. We'll be free of you, bunch of hicks.
Yeah. Toronto's so great, eh?
Toronto is great.
Okay,
Okay,
let's.
let's do it.
Whew. Okay,
George Russell had a great second round of practice, FP. Why do they call it free practice?
I don't know. It's probably very expensive for them.
Georgie came in first, Lando second, Kimi third, then Alex Albon. Alex and George were both on the mediums. Did they do well because of the mediums? Because they did tire management better, or was it the cars? Was it the drivers? Is it luck? Does practice have any bearing on the race tomorrow?
Oh no, practice. No, this is I mean, the only thing that's not indicative is McLaren's times. However, I believe that they're so confident that they were testing out a few new wings and setups because they're like, "Oh,
So
we're going to be fine."
they were keeping their powder dry.
Sandbagging, as they say
They
in
call
Formula
it
One.
sandbagging because it's
Yeah,
duplicitous.
yeah. Where did sandbagging come from?
That's a good question.
Like what? Like, are
I'm
you
going to
looking that up?
sandbag you. I'm not looking that up. No,
Okay.
no.
Um,
Sometimes it's nice just to revel in the unknown, isn't it?
yeah. Or if
You're an expert at that. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's nice to know that you can see what I'm good at.
How was your week?
I want to answer your George Russell Albon
Sorry.
question.
I moved on too quickly.
Okay, so here's what it is. First of all, the weather was colder, so that's good for Mercedes. Apparently,
Yeah.
their tire management is much better in colder weather. So if the race is colder, then you might see George and Kimi do well.
That's because they aren't good at cooling their tires.
Well,
Or is it their engine?
I believe what's happening is that their car generates downforce in a certain way that applies more, pressure on the rear tires. I think is what it is, and so they're not quite able to manage them. Also, so because basically what happens is too much heat goes into the tire, and
Right.
then it doesn't work. So that's what's happening. Whereas McLaren seems to manage the temperatures of their tires much better, so their tires last longer and they can push them harder.
And this was where a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, people started floating hypotheses about, they've got water.
Yeah,
They're
there's some
water
cooling
cooled
things.
tires
Yeah,
somehow, some magical.
yeah. Like I think one theory was that water from the water bottle for the F1 driver was somehow being strict, and somehow that would cool the temperatures down. It's ludicrous.
It's amazing the speculation that goes on.
Yeah, what if you just focused on your own? Like, just focus on your own
That's right.
self. Learn how to grow from the inside, and then maybe you'll rise to the occasion. But no, it's not. Formula One, you're like, they point fingers, they try and disrupt, disable,
Hmm.
destroy.
Yeah. What did Freud say?
Mm, there was like several things he said, I think.
Rarely, but this one applies to what we're talking about. Rarely are we masters of our own house.
It's beautiful.
He was a beautiful man,
I can
except
honestly
for the
say
20 cigars a day and the hole in his face, thanks to cancer.
he had a hole in his face.
Yeah, he had some part of his mouth and jaw missing later on in life, and he had to wear a prosthetic, and he called it the Beast, I think.
So he
Yeah. And I saw a guy recently at a home hardware with a similar thing. Old Portuguese guy. He
oh,
was this past winter. I was looking into some new sleds.
don't you dabble into having a cigarette?
Oh, I love a cigarette once in a
Well,
while.
hasn't Freud's face taught you a lesson?
Well, I'm not sure 20 cigars a day versus a cigarette a quarter. I'm hoping they're not analogous.
That's where it starts, JB. Quarter of a cigarette, half a cigarette, three quarters of a full cigarette,
I'm
12
gonna
packs a day.
I'm gonna start smoking in earnest in my 70s, I think.
Oh, to end it faster.
No, I just think by
Oh,
that time, I'll have. I don't want to end it faster necessarily, but I do want to have some fun,
that's
later
fun.
on in life. Oh my God, you don't like cigarettes?
No, they
Don't
smell bad. They taste
don't
bad.
look at me like this is the most addictive thing on earth.
Well, I'm not saying it, but I
Even
can
more
say
than hair. So you don't have to look incredulous at someone
I can't
enjoying them
help it.
once in a while.
I can't help that. That's how my face reacts to a
I
decision that is
you
poor.
can
Well, I
help
can.
it. Yeah,
Do you want me to be
because
honest?
you have a rational brain,
But do
I
you want me to be
think.
honest? What do
But
you
there's a
want?
difference between honesty and just being dumb.
No, that's not. I'm not being dumb. I'm being honest. I think you. I'm. Look, that's fun.
Yeah, this is going to cure me.
Hmm.
You should be a life coach.
Yes, I
My
would. I'd whip
God.
people into shape. But the problem is my bookkeeping would be terrible.
I think that's one of your problems.
Back to George and Albon.
Yeah.
So Alex's car, the Williams, has notoriously been a great car for straight line speed. So tracks
Hmm.
like Monza, tracks like Montreal. So I actually placed a bet on
No,
Albon
you
and
didn't.
Carlos. I bet
Really?
that one of them, or both of them, can finish in the top three.
Top three. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good bet, Milky.
yeah. I think.
How much did you lay down and what are the odds?
Well, my good friend Dylan, the Dillster, the Dillingwood, the D bag,
Dilly Bar,
they're delicious. Eh,
DC,
he and I think we put down $50 each. Can't remember, something like that. So,
$50 each. And what were the odds at
oh, those odds for them. It would have been great if you could have bet odds of them both finishing in the top three. That would have been really high. But I
you
think
couldn't?
the
You weren't allowed to do
return.
that?
No, it. Someone will show me, and I'll spend some time on it. But there aren't very many good betting sites for Formula One,
Oh.
or at least I haven't found
Is
any.
this a business opportunity?
It could be
Are
because
you able to box that? I guess not, hey.
box it.
If you box results, you can choose the order.
Oh,
Then the payout's
no,
even greater.
no, I don't think so. But there used to be a good betting site years ago that I used to. You could bet like the top six, right? And you could if they
Yeah.
get in, and then you could bet order, and it was great. And then if you were able to do it, you'd make some okay money.
It really makes the race fun
Hmm.
if you've got some skin in the game.
Oh, it's all sports. That's why
Yeah.
the NFL and NHL and all those sporting franchises have successfully swayed the government to create an opportunity to create mass addiction across our great
Yeah. I
countries.
mean, it's the next thing after vaping
Yeah, like
is online gambling. It's worth so much money.
it's astonishing that everyone's like, yeah, let's legalize this. Let's just do
Yeah.
it. Like we know gambling is an addictive.
Yeah.
Um,
But we do that with alcohol, with cigarettes,
yeah, but alcohol, like
with weed
look at how
now.
alcohol is regulated.
Mhm.
Alcohol is regulated in a better way.
Yeah.
Cigarette smoke, uh, they have really,
Really done a
tied it
number
up and
on
made
it.
it hard, and you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
so, but gambling, it's like when they say, "Are you 18 plus years old?" or how do they know? And now you got a 14-year-old kid gambling on an NBA Finals game.
And they gamify everything, so a website will look like a video game.
Yeah.
Same with online, like, stock
Oh yeah, yeah.
buying
You're totally
stocks,
right.
and yeah, they've made it all. Same with vapes. They've
Yeah.
gamified vapes with all the colorful flashing lights and the flavors you can get.
Yeah. Like it's just
Yeah, it's
God. It makes me
capitalism.
sick. It makes me sick. Like there's, what's amazing is like Facebook will have, well, you didn't adhere to our guidelines. Well, you know what? I'd like to have some guidelines for you guys.
So true, hey?
Why
It's
don't?
not our it's not our policy, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you made up some rules. I can make up rules too.
Right
It's not
now.
my policy to
Yeah.
suffer bad customer service. Give me my
Or
money
or
back, or I'm going to shoot this place up.
if you're going to sell my information, I want a cut. And this is the thing that blows my mind. They were like, the whole argument about social media stuff was it's a free service. So if it's free, you're the product.
Yeah.
Facebook isn't free. What is your definition of free?
Go ahead.
That's right.
Tell me.
Well, they take my information. That's not free.
Yeah.
If you're taking, I'm paying by you taking my
Nothing's
information.
free.
So it's crazy
Nothing's
that
free.
now
I
we're
just
probably doing
saw.
about podcasting.
I just saw Paying for It, the Sookyun Lee movie.
I love that name.
Yeah, she's cool. She adapted the Chester Brown graphic novel of the same name, where him and his girlfriend open up their relationship, and she goes and has a series of bad relationships. But Chester says, I've had it with relationships. And so he just starts hiring sex workers.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, because whether you're availing yourselves of the services of sex workers or you're in a romantic relationship, everybody's paying for it.
Right.
I don't think you're listening to me
I,
anymore.
I
You're
am I
reading
am
something else.
I am listening, but I realize
This
why we
is
can't.
like this
I
is
realize
like
why
what it's being married to you, I think. You just tune out in mid-sentence.
I just realized why we can't stream to F1 Chat Pod.
What do you mean F1 Chat Pod? F1 Chat Pod what?
Facebook.
Ah, Facebook. How come? Why can't we?
We don't have 100 followers.
You need 100 followers?
I think to live stream, yeah, to that.
So why are we live streaming?
But I don't know.
Okay.
People are doing it.
You don't have to have an answer for everything. I was just wondering.
So back to George and Alex.
George and Alex.
So I think
They're good friends, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very good friends. And Max and George aren't.
Aren't.
I don't think so. I don't think they're.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I think I know for sure they're not good friends. Mm. That's why this whole George and Max ever working together thing isn't ever going to happen. And what do you think about George going to Aston Martin? That's bullshit too, isn't it?
Well, here's what I think. Toto Wolff has not signed George yet for some reason, and I think that's because he's waiting for perhaps the opportunity to see what it might be like to have Max in the car. But I believe, Max is not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
I think if anything, he would go to Aston Martin. It's a way better fit there, and there's the only reason I feel that Toto is stalling when it comes to making a deal with George is so he can get him for less. So he can put the pressure on. It's old-timey negotiating skills, you know?
But it's
I'm going to
weird.
let the clock run out.
Mercedes manages George. That's what's so weird about it.
Mercedes manages George, right?
So like Toto
Talk
and
about a
Mercedes, they
conflict
were
of
the ones
interest.
that brought him up through the racing ranks and funded
Yeah,
his career. He's represented
right.
by the team.
Right. Okay, then how about this? Then how about George is in on it? That's why George isn't making any noise. Because George knows this is all strategy. But to what end, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
interesting. Oh, I like your spin. So they're playing some kind of game to keep maybe Red Bull unstable because Total Wolf we might want Max. So then there's creating tension and
Yeah,
uncertainty. Ah, JB,
yeah.
you truly are a master
A
of.
mastermind. You can just say it.
Okay, you're a mastermind. That's a good. They
That's
are. That's what
nice.
they're doing.
That could be it. I still don't know why. I feel like there's some triangulation going on. Like there's a third party out there. Like Mercedes and one other team is in cahoots and they're working Red Bull.
Here's another angle on that. I think you're right. Here's another angle on that. Aston Martin is going to Honda engines, so
Hmm.
not um, Mercedes
Right. When do they go?
next year.
Next year.
So here's a thought: is they want to weaken Aston Martin's position. So if they're there to help drive up the cost of Max Verstappen, and Max Verstappen is going to leave, not that it affects so much money that they spend on the car necessarily, but that's a lot of money to spend on a driver if his rate keeps. So if they're all like pretending, and now we can get Max's rate up to some absurd amount of money.
Oh, so do you think Toto is in cahoots with Horner?
I think no one's in cahoots with anybody.
Oh,
I think that Toto recognizes that we want to create instability.
in. Yeah.
If it's unstable, it's not stable. If it's unstable, it's
It's
stable.
instability versus instability. And I think the instability versus unstable. And I think the reason is because the English language is,
Stupid.
it's a tough one.
Like I don't
I
get
don't
the.
think it's a good language as far as languages go. It's so confusing.
I wouldn't know how to compare. Like I wouldn't even know like Mandarin. I'd have no idea.
Well, I think from what I have heard, Spanish makes a lot more sense. It's easier to learn than
Right.
English because of the way you conjugate things. It just makes more sense.
And there's another word. That's an English word, conjugate. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Weren't you going to be a teacher?
Phys ed teacher.
That's right. Those who can't do teach. Those who can't teach gym. Yeah, good for you, Milky. Are you doing exercises these days?
You want to see some?
Yeah, let's see. Now, you're a former elite athlete. Just want to tell everybody. Okay, let's see. Is that what you do?
I do 100 of these.
Is this a workout from World War One that your father gave you before he passed along?
Um, sorry, I hit the mic there. I do a bunch of other things. I'm doing mostly what's the word? Calisthenics.
Yeah,
Cal-
calisthenics.
Using your own body weight.
Yeah.
And no, these aren't exercises. Well, I shouldn't say that actually. My dad did do exercises like that. He didn't have weights in the house, but he would do certain.
And he was fit all the way to the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he would walk.
He was trim, slim and trim.
Yeah, he walked a lot until he started getting when he got Alzheimer's. Then he'd walk and really walk a lot and get lost. So he had to
Yeah.
stop the walk.
Poor fella. How old was he when he died?
Oh, I can't quite remember. 84.
And was that 10 years ago now? 8?
I don't know. Why do I want to remember death?
I'll tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's important that we walk with death so that when it comes again, we're not so surprised.
Well, I'm not surprised by death at all.
Okay, great. Well, then you're advanced. You're not only a former elite athlete, you're You're an enlightened human being.
From the moment I realized that people die, it's inevitable that people are going to die. So then why are we surprised when people die?
Well, because I think we create attachments with people, and when they do die, it's sad. No matter what no matter how we intellectualize it, the feelings center is slow to pick up the memo sometimes. So we
Sounds
can
like
understand something, but then our heart still hurts.
sounds like the problem is attachment.
Well, I don't know if attachment is a problem. I mean, you're attached, no matter how cool you appear right now.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Back to George
Back
and
to
Alex.
George and Alex.
Back to George and Alex. I think the more we talk about them, the more likely they are going to finish on the podium.
Great. I
So,
like your lack of logic.
hey, it's magic.
That's for sure. Let's look at the standings again. Now, Alex was only 3/100ths off the
You mean the timesheets? Standings are different, JB. Get your words right.
timesheet. Sorry, 3/100ths.
Yep.
And then, where was the next Williams?
He was down a little further, I believe.
He was down a little further. So, and he was on the soft too. Where is he?
Don't make me look.
I can't see.
JB, I cleaned out my storage locker and it was dusty and dirty and I didn't wear a mask. And since I've done that, which is
Yeah.
3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I've had this little cough, this niggly little
Oh, no
thing.
way. Oh, that sucks. Okay, let's get back to that. But, he's right behind him. No. Where is he?
Oh my God.
Where's Carlos? 7th. Fuck, I can't read. Carlos was 7th. So where do you put Carlos and Alex on the podium? In the standings, in the time, in the
What do you
results tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. I bet on both of them to finish in the top 3. I don't necessarily think both of them are going to finish in the
Oh,
top 3.
I
I already
see.
said that. Did you forget that? That was only
Well,
12 minutes ago.
yeah, no, I remember you saying about Alex, but I didn't hear you say that about Carlos as well.
Right. Okay.
Carlos needs a win, doesn't he?
He
He's so
just needs
frustrated.
some consistent top finishes. He's
Yeah,
having a
that's
little
what I
trouble
mean.
adapting to the car.
Yeah.
But
Now
here's the thing, JB. There could be a first-time winner in Montreal because there's been multiple first-time winners in Montreal over the years.
you said this last time. You
Yeah.
like the rookies.
Yeah. So who knows? Like maybe Alex wins the race.
Wouldn't that be so great?
Oh, he's so nice. How do you not want him to get him a victory? Let's go.
I wonder when Max sees somebody like Alex, does he go, there's another way of doing it? Like, I can see how George is annoying because he's Mr. Rules, he's Mr. Spokesperson,
Super good looking,
really good looking.
master use of the English language.
And then Alex is just, you can't not like him. And I wonder if Max ever looks over and goes, probably not, right? Self-awareness is a rare thing.
Well, I mean, my one concern about Alex Albon would be that I don't remember any F1 world champion giggling so much. And Alex Albon giggles a lot. And if there was something that might hold him back from winning the world championship, it's the giggling.
I agree profoundly.
Right? Like because when you see does he giggle in the car? Apparently he's quite abusive in the car. If you listen to some of his radio messages to his team, he gets quite so. Maybe just the giggles are only for outside, and he.
So draw me a line between his lack of podium results and his propensity to giggle off track, and how those two are connected.
Well, some might say, which is a great Oasis song, and they're on tour, and I'm going to see them this summer in Toronto. Can't wait. I think the line is there. If you take all the world champions, there's an intensity to the world champions all the time. After post-race interviews, even like when they're asked, even maybe it's when it's like 4 hours later, if it's a question about something that's happening regarding the sport or their race, they can often be quite like blunt stern, terse. Sometimes
Even
Alex,
even a Damon Hill or a Oscar Piastri?
Damon Hill, from the interviews that I remember, the Damon Hill reactions, sometimes like he could be, his humor would be dry and he could have pointed sarcasm and insults, but there was like a level of I guess the word is, I don't know what the word is, terse. There was a level of edge to it when he was in the heat of the battle. Um, and so I wonder, because like I don't hear Alex often after say something about another driver or an incident. He's a bit light on it. Like he kind of lets it slide. He goes, well. Whereas I think personally, if I was an F1 race car driver and I was dealing with certain drivers on the track, and I would I wouldn't mince my words. I would
I
say that guy was in my way. He was wrong.
and I think you would swear a lot and you would yell and
I would swear a lot and yell.
yeah.
I don't know about that.
In a race car, I think you'd be swearing your head off.
Yeah, yeah. Oh! I see what you're
I
saying.
think you'd be afraid for your life too, as would others.
Well, they should. I shouldn't be allowed in an F1 car. There's
The closest I've gotten to is driving a race car with a pneumatic clutch
Now
for a
that's pneumatic
commercial.
spelled Pneumatic. Yet again, the English language is profound and
Yeah,
disturbing.
and I couldn't get it out of first gear.
You couldn't move it. I love it.
I moved it like 45 feet, and the
How,
guy said, "You probably won't go very far," and he was right. And then it was over.
how did that make you feel?
I was so happy to get out of that piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah, that was 1997. One of the first commercials I ever did. And now, as I look up at the
1997.
clock for some reason, it's 400 years later. Oh my God, milkbags. Walking with death is good because then you get used to the idea of it when it happens, when it starts happening to you or someone you love. Like Rizzo, let's talk about your dog. Think
Don't
about your dog's death.
don't do that.
Oh, wait a second. I thought you were super good about this.
Don't. No, I am. I'm already do. I say to my dog every day. I go 17 years.
Yeah.
Go if you can make it to 17. That's a good run. If you can get to
That's
20,
that's probably
incredible.
3 more than is
Absolutely.
ideal.
I think I'm not sure the average age of a Boston exactly, but I don't think it's more like 11, 12.
Yeah, cuz they're so high revving.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't know how to self-regulate. I learned that on Sunday, and I should have been a better dog owner. We took Rizzo to the beach.
Good for you for not calling yourself a dog dad.
I do that sometimes.
Anyways, you took her to the beach.
She went nuts, nonstop, 4 hours. Couldn't get her to stop saying hi to every dog, swimming, running. The tide was out. We did that. The tide came in. We did that. Her poor paws were raw from the kind of rocky, stony beaches that we have over here in Western Canada. Not all our beaches are like that, though, by the way. And yeah. And then so the next day, she probably slept for 36 hours. So we were a little bit worried. We're like, oh my God, what have we done to our dog? But then
Yeah.
by day 2 in the evening, oh, she wanted to play tug of war. Then she was barking at me to do some training and tricks and stuff. So
Have you thought about getting her some summer sandals?
no,
Because I saw a dog yesterday wearing booties, and I thought, no, it was this morning. 13, and I went for a morning swim and then a bike ride.
hang on. You went to a pool this morning?
Yeah, first day the Sunnyside Pavilion is open.
Don't you find pools disgusting?
Well, not on the first day, but yes.
Okay, so that's why you went. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll still keep going because it's such an amazing spot. It's the size of a football field. It's 100 years old, and it's where the Parkdale mating ritual happens every summer.
Parkdale mating ritual?
Yeah, because rent is so expensive. A lot, especially some. It especially in within cultures that are used to living together multi-generationally. When there's courting happening, there's nowhere to go because you're still living at home. And the
Ah,
neighborhood is called Parkdale.
mm.
And so you'll see a lot of people with neck tattoos canoodling in the deep end down at Sunnyside Pool on a warm summer evening. It's the Parkdale mating ritual.
Oh, so they
Yeah.
all get out of their house.
Yeah, everybody gets out of their house. Everybody goes and looks at each other in their bathers down at
Are
Sunnyside.
you worried?
It's
Because
incredible.
are you a little bit worried? Like, because you got two children,
Yeah,
beautiful, funny,
that I know
smart.
of. Thank
That's
you.
that you know of. Nice, well done. Yeah, you were quite
Hey
the
now.
catch. And like when they're 18 or 19, like, are you prepared? Oh, maybe they're living with you till they're 25.
No.
Oh, what do you mean no?
No. I don't think that's gonna be an option for them.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Well, by the time they graduate, that's in 5 years. I mean, or 13 graduates in 5 years, 15 in less. So my plan is that when they leave for university, I'm going to downscale. And so there's going to be room to visit, but that's it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
God damn it!
Because of our plan, because I want Europe in my life.
Right.
And it's not for the whole year. I'm not going to leave Toronto 100%. I really like it here. But I am going to move within Toronto. I want to explore a different neighborhood. I do want to rent one summer out in Caledon,
Hmm.
like for the whole summer. I want that vibe. And I want to spend some time in Europe. I want to get to know Oslo and Umbria and
Well, I think, like I said last week, I think there's an opportunity here to get the children when they're 18 or 19 to go to Europe, realize that Europe is a beautiful place to live, start a life there, and then everyone's over there. That's great.
maybe, I don't know about going to school in Europe. They both want to go to university. Even I told them they don't have to.
Well, they shouldn't go to university right away.
No, they shouldn't. But
They
I
really
mean,
shouldn't.
it's up to them.
And also, like, what are they going to go to university for? I mean, like you might be better off. I mean, if there's such a thing as entrepreneur school, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like what is a better use of your time in a world where, for at least for the next, I think maybe they should just go and be a plumber or a carpenter because those skills are always going to be needed,
A
at least for another
plumber,
20
a
years.
plumber, you can make as much as a general practitioner, and you don't have to go to school for 7 years.
Exactly. And knowledgeable based industries like lawyers, though I believe those are going to become uh, uh, not redundant, but there'll be less of them because we're all going to have our Chat GPT, Claude lawyers.
I mean, maybe for real estate law, boiler stuff that requires a boilerplate.
I couldn't
But
believe how simple the contract was for buying and selling a house, and people just copy and paste it.
oh yeah, you don't need a realtor. You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer, not a realtor. Anyways, the other day I tried to get something notarized online. Couldn't do it. I have to go and see a human being. You still need a human witness, unfortunately, or fortunately. But then with Google VO,
Oh,
I mean, maybe we can just make a feature film. When 15 showed that to me, I was like, can it be 90 minutes long? I could
yeah,
make a feature for $35.
it's insane.
$250. What is it? $250 a month for the Google Suite to get
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's insane.
I'm doing that.
It's over. Acting's over.
It's just begun.
No, well, I mean, acting as we know it,
Yeah, fine.
like, it's
Go ahead.
probably,
See you
yeah.
later. I had a great run. Now I'm going to make stuff all by myself and I don't have to fucking collaborate because people are hard.
Yeah, it's true. Collaboration is very difficult. Now, here's the thing about that, though. When you collaborate on a creative adventure, We're talking less about F1 this podcast, probably because it's only been a free practice, right?
Yeah.
Is that sometimes that creative process and those disagreements lead to a better thing. So without that
True.
adversity, you don't
Very
get
true.
something great. So there's something to think about. But also,
Really, may I? I think the number one reason to collaborate with creatives is it's my favorite thing to do. Like
oh,
I never laughed as hard in my life or in recent memory as I did when making Kensington Diner with Tim and Fiona.
mhm,
Like it was so much fun. I didn't have to act.
right.
I didn't have to do anything, but I'll do all those things just to hang out with you lot, you sad clowns.
Well, we are a
Because
lot of fun, but we're also intolerable at the same time.
it's true, you got to take breaks. So when you take a break, that's when you make your AI generated feature film.
Right. Right. Now, did you see the new calendar for the F1 next season?
Yeah, I did a little bit of it.
So we
Seems
could try
good.
and go to Montreal.
Yeah. It's not in June anymore?
No, it is.
Yeah.
We could.
But
Oh
they're
no,
not.
no, it's back in May.
It's in May.
Yeah. So we could try, which is kind of crazy that they're doing it in May. I think it's May because
Weather-wise.
oh yeah, it could snow.
I mean, Montreal is not. Let's just bring it up.
Dylan's calling me, and I turned him down. I'm wondering. He rarely calls me on a Saturday morning. That's concerning.
Oh, why don't you just take it?
No, I'm not going to take it.
Sure.
I'm
Nothing
I'm a
matters.
professional. I'll text him while we're on a podcast.
Notable changes include the addition of Madrid Grand Prix on September 13th, replacing Imola, and the Canadian Grand Prix moving to May 24. Oh my God, what a way to celebrate Victoria's birthday, to
Mm-hmm.
align with the Miami Grand Prix. For the complete schedule, please refer to the official Formula One website. You know, ChatGPT, why don't you just give me the fucking website? Why do I have to keep asking? Read my thoughts.
Collect. They want to get you on there. They keep you on there. They
It's
collect
so
data.
great. I know.
I've, I,
It's a great service, just like Amazon.
Mhm.
It's a great service, Jeff Bezos.
have well, I mean, it's a great service, but at the same time, it's destroying small business.
Yeah, that's terrible. There's so many things that are destroying small business. My brother is a small business owner, and the
What? What's his
tariffs,
business?
Moscow Moto,
What's that?
soft goods for endurance motorbikes,
What are soft goods?
panniers, tank bags, armor.
Oh,
And they were doing banging business until Trump got elected. As soon as he got elected, people started getting nervous and they stopped buying stuff. And now with the tariffs, he's had to furlough employees. And he's like, I'm not sleeping well anymore. I'm stressed out.
yeah.
So if that's one case, imagine how many small to medium-sized businesses across America are getting absolutely boned by this orange a-hole.
Let me spin some optimism.
I love it.
Here's something that someone could do because I'm not going to be capable of doing it, and if it does well, maybe you can give me a cut. I don't quite understand it. I've started to see it, but it hasn't quite proliferated. Proliferated hasn't quite permeated. Hasn't quite presented itself regularly.
Carry on.
I'm enjoying alliteration. Is it alliteration or illiteration?
Well, let's land this plane.
Okay. With technology, with blockchain, with all this data collected, when I go to Toronto, I don't live there, and I go there and I want to explore the city. I want local, private, small business shops to show up on an app for me if I'm shopping for shoes. I want to go to a small town. I don't want to go to Foot Locker. If I'm online and I want to order something, how it must be possible that there could be a small business, like maybe that's Etsy, maybe that's Shopify, right? Like maybe I don't do enough of it. Maybe that's how you find it. But I feel like I just want an app that's Amazon and it's only for small businesses. That's what I want. I don't want
Pardon
to
me.
go on Amazon and order something that gets from some factory or a warehouse that it's set in Arizona.
But
What
it
I
comes
want,
the next day or even the same day,
I don't need it. I don't
and it's
really need it that
cheap.
fast. No.
But if you've forgotten something
Yeah.
and you want it fast, it just comes.
Yeah, but how, like, I guess here's the
It's
thing,
incredible.
is what are you forgetting that you need so fast?
Kids' birthdays,
That's important,
for one. My kid's laptop charger died.
right? Okay, yeah, but
He needed that right away.
I mean, I
So,
could
and
you're
it
right, you're making
came.
good points, but why can't that be a small business? And there's a delivery service that happens, and someone like Instacart, someone goes and gets your groceries and brings them. Why can't that happen with small businesses in your local community?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
that's a good one, Milky. And you're right, you're not capable of doing that.
No,
But you're putting it out there and hoping that someone else does.
because I will always, if it's at my fingertips, and this is clearly what you just stated. The reason why you like Amazon is I forgot my kid's birthday. But now let's not get into birthdays because they seem like they're kind of a waste of time. They're why? What are we celebrating? I don't quite get it. It's another year. Just move on.
Well, I want to know why it's important for you for people to think like you, someone who grew up in the
It,
Jehovah's Witnesses.
listen, it doesn't matter what the holiday is. If it's Valentine's Day, why do we have it? Why do
Why
we have
is it
Valentine's Day?
why is it important? I agree Valentine's Day is garbage,
Why do we have Mother's Day?
but here's another thing.
No, no, I know you've got me started, and I'm going to finish this.
I
If
don't
I
think
have
I
to have a
started
day to
this.
remember to celebrate my mother, what sort of a person am I? I'm a monster if I can't. You should be
Well,
celebrating your family every day and saying I love you and thank you very much and buying a gift just to buy a gift or whatever, or do something nice and take them out for a walk, whatever it is. But now it's a capitalized marketplace for all these.
so it sounds like you don't like being told what to do.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. And yet you're telling everyone else
What
to
to do?
do
That's normal.
as you do.
That's
It's
normal.
normal. Yeah, I don't know if it's bringing you a lot of satisfaction though.
I just believe that I'm right 92% of the time.
Yeah. Well, congrats on maintaining staying married
Yeah, see?
because normally it's one or the other,
Like,
being right or being married. It
look,
just
all
shows how much your wife puts up with.
well, I put up with her.
Like how?
Like how?
Yeah. Give me an
I'm not,
example.
I'm not, I'm, look, we're supposed to be talking about F1. I don't know what turned this
Okay, let's
podcast
talk
into.
about F1. So, have they made any? Let's talk about the changes they've made this time in Montreal.
The track. Yeah, yeah. There was some problems last year, but also there's problems at every track. So I
Hmm.
don't know, like why everyone was so concerned about Montreal. It's fine. It'll be fine. And you know
Yeah.
what? You want some of these tracks. Uh, how do you say it? You don't you want some of the tracks to have these extremely unique traits?
Sure, but large scale flooding may not be.
Not ideal, but
Not
still.
ideal. Yeah.
Like one of the greatest races in F1 history was the one Jenson Button won when he was in last place. Had to went into the pits like 6 times, still won, and it was one of the wettest races that they'd had.
Wow.
Poor, poor drainage,
Yeah.
and the race stopped. It had to like red flag. They red flagged it for 2 hours while the rain came down. It was crazy. So I would kind of say, well, now that we don't have a flooding track, we might not get as exciting races.
How come we have two Spanish races now? What happened there?
Oh, I don't think we do. Do we? Is it Madrid and Barcelona still?
I think so. And yet we don't have anything in Germany. We don't have anything in France. Is it just the way the money goes?
It's money. It's
So
money.
there's more money in Spain?
Somebody, I know what you're saying. That makes no sense, right? It doesn't, like, Spain does not look like they're handling money well.
Also, wouldn't they be making more races in Northern Europe rather than South with global heating?
Right. Look at that. There is 2 races in Spain. It doesn't make any sense.
That's a lot of Spain. I've never been there. I really want to go, but also they were complaining about tourists. So now I'm like, well, I don't want to go there and get yelled at.
Yeah, I mean, Spain's kind of like 2 countries with the little history I know about it. But
Oh
but
yeah, that's true.
but you're right. Like, why have 2 races in Spain when there isn't one in France and there isn't one? And that probably has to do with government funding. Because here's what I love about big
Yeah. Oh, this
corporate
is my favorite. Yeah.
business. This
They're
is
all
great. They still feed off the teat of the
they're all
government.
subsidized.
Like,
They're like, hey, if you want us to play downtown in your city, you're going to have to build us a stadium to the tune of 200 million, blah, blah, blah. How is this even? And then you're going to cover it in branding deals and sponsorship and
like, I think that's okay if it's subsidized to a certain degree. Then just give the money back, and they're going to say, "Well, we give the money back because we're generating revenue." But you know that they should pay back any of that. They should pay back all of that money
yeah.
because whether it's Maple Leaf Entertainment or whatever it is, they are become billion dollar enterprises.
But then the problem is, yeah, if they do well,
Do.
I said do, then you're chasing after that money after the fact. And municipal administrations come and go, and you're spending more money on bureaucrats chasing after money owed. So I say get the money up front.
Well,
Just
can't you just be
screw
like
them.
every time there's a ticket sold, 250 gets taken off the
But that
top?
takes administration. That takes dollars to get that money. So instead of trying to get it, because they'll always show like at the end of their year, they'll be like, "Oh, we didn't actually do that well." You know that old chestnut, that the Hollywood accounting. You're very familiar with that.
Oh yeah, don't.
Don't get him started.
What a
Let's
morning. You know
get
what it is I had 2 old Milwaukee's last night. I woke up with a headache. That explains this. That's why you're
yeah
getting this today.
yeah
2.
two. I know you can't
2.
drink anymore. No, I can't drink beer. I haven't drank beer in ages. I had my first 2 drinks of the week last night. 2 martinis. I had them early in the night. I was fine. If I had had 2 glasses of wine, I would have been destroyed. If I had had 2 gin and tonics with all that sugar, ruined.
This is why Lando Norris has stopped drinking.
Well, I think it was something. It's not from its age for us. It's something else for him.
You know, he was
It's
because
focus.
like drinking's not good for you.
It's
Full
not. But
stop.
when you're that young, please,
No, he
he
needs to
could
go.
drive drunk.
Well, Mark Webber apparently won. Was it? Did he win or? I think he did win. He went and partied with Eddie Jordan in Ibiza. I
Mm-hmm.
brought this up before.
Yeah,
Came back and I won this. I believe it was a Spanish Grand Prix and won it.
I
And
bet.
he would slept on like he had 2 hours sleep and was.
I bet Lewis Hamilton has done that. Like when you're so good and you're so popular and you're so plugged in and then you got all these parties going on. I bet Lewis in his heyday did
Well,
that.
maybe I don't strike Lewis as that type of partier.
I don't know, man. I
I think
think
he's
he's
more into
got some
fashion.
great
Like
stories.
he'd stay up late till 2 a.m.
Do you
trying
think
on
he
different outfits.
do you think he likes girls or boys?
I think the jury's out. I think he likes everybody. He
I mean, it's
dated what's
2025.
her name?
That's
What's her
cool.
name? What's her name?
Oh, he's dated girls.
Oh yeah, he dated that singer from some
Adele.
British band. No, not it didn't date Adele.
Oh,
Um, although I think they'd make a wonderful couple.
yeah. Imogen Heaps.
No, I don't know who that is. No, like
Um,
old
old
time.
timey. Chrissy Hines.
Like it was like a girl band.
Girl band. Spice Girls. Scary
No, but it
Spice.
wasn't Spice Girls, but it was in that
Baby
sort of
Spice.
because no,
Out of the Spice Girls, which is your favorite?
I can't
I,
really remember them
I like
all.
Baby and Scary.
I can only remember. Actually, I don't really remember them. Jerry Halliwell only because I watched Formula One. That's
That's
all
the
I
only
remember.
one you can remember.
It's the only one I can remember. What are the other? So was there a Sporty Spice?
Yeah, there's Sporty. Mel. She's a lesbian,
Mm-hmm.
and she had the eating disorder. And then there's Baby Spice, Emma,
I don't
and she
remember that
was
one.
she was the most sexiest of them all,
I
I
don't
thought.
remember.
Scary Spice was a black girl. She's
Right.
really sexy.
Right.
And then Victoria, Posh Spice, Victoria, and then Jerry.
Oh, Posh is Beckham's
Yeah,
partner. David
yeah.
Beckham. David Beckham talks like this, but as it does like, I could still play football. I kick the ball hard and I run. And when I did footbally, or footsie as I like to say, we used to wear baggy shirts because it was a weird trend of clothing for men back then.
You're so good at impressions.
Thanks. And having volatility.
And being volatile. Yeah.
Now, JB, you've never seen an F1 race.
No, I've seen 2 IndyCar races, but never an F1 in real life.
What do you think? I'm curious because I think you and I are going to go to an F1 race, and maybe it should be Mexico and not Canada because it might actually be cheaper for us to meet in Mexico than for me to fly to Montreal.
I mean, okay. I love Mexico. I'll go to Mexico.
Well,
I
their
love
Grand Prix is
those
a party.
people.
Everyone says it's just an amazing party.
Let's do it.
And I would it'd be a fun prediction. Like, what do you think you're going to like the most about going and seeing a live F1 race?
Well, I really like Mexico City, so it'd be great to be back in CDMX.
What
I
is it about
love
the F1 though? The racing. What do you think what is it about
I was getting to that.
Well, land the plane.
So I think I love the people there. So I think it would be the people at F1 in Mexico City.
You mean the fans?
The fans. Yeah. I think that'd be the most fun because we would meet so many people.
Right. I think that might also be the thing you hate about F1. I think it's both.
Yeah.
There'll be too many people and some people will start to annoy you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
See,
that could be it.
the thing that I because I've seen live races is the amazement that the cars can stop or turn or take off that fast. And when you see it live, that's
Yeah.
when you kind of go, this is insanity.
Yeah.
Even the worst of the worst, whether you think that's Lance Stroll or somebody else, or Franco Colapinto, they are amazing what they're able to do in those cars.
I
Like
can't wait because I saw Indy cars and you feel it. You feel it when they're downshifting when they get to a chicane. It's like, oh, here comes the thunder. It's amazing. And then what's absolutely terrifying, I think it was with you. We saw an Indy race in Toronto, didn't we? Toronto used to have an Indy.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen Indy in Toronto and Vancouver.
And me too. And I think
Vancouver
it
got
was.
complained it was too loud.
Well, you know what was too loud was when the fighter jets flew over.
Oh wow!
Because you're watching the cars and you're like, holy shit, I can feel it in my testicles.
Mm-hmm.
And then a fighter jet buzzes the tower, and it was honestly terrifying.
Oh, I just
It was like,
imagine being in
that's
a war
loud.
zone. Just imagine being in a war zone. Now,
Don't get me started with the Toronto Air Show. It's in 3 days. It's an absolute nightmare.
I saw this horrifying, sad, and of course, I believe it's real, but I don't know if it is because it's on TikTok or Instagram or something. So I don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah.
But there's this Ukrainian soldier, and he has his phone. And he's in the trenches. This is so sad and terrifying. So Russia has sent drones, and you hear the drones, and he's just sitting there filming himself, hoping that he's not going to get hit by these drones. You just hear this. So the weird mosquito sound of a drone, which isn't as loud, but then when it gets close, it has that weird buzzing, and the thunderous, ominous sound of a jet. That's what the people are, the civilians and the soldiers are subject to that psychological.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it.
And here we are talking about cars going round and round with grown
We're
men
so
driving
lucky.
them. We're so lucky.
Like,
speaking of lucky, let's talk about Lance Stroll. What's happening? What's going to happen?
with his hands. With his
With his
wrists.
hands,
Look
with his
at
wrists. The hair?
No,
Or-
look at that muscle.
Oh, yeah. No, you're impressive. You're sliced and diced, Milky.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll is on his way out. Come on, he's not. He's not gonna. He can't be racing in next year. He can't. Every time he does an interview, it's like it's like he's got the worst job in the world.
Do you think he actually hurt his wrist? Do you think his wrist do you think he hurt himself throwing shit in the paddock?
Well, that was one rumor, which I could believe, but I also believe that the truth is that if his wrists aren't quite, like it was quite a bad accident, the forces of driving an F1 car
Why
are
was he
fine.
hiding it in his pocket at the presser? He was
Because he
hiding
didn't,
his wrist in his
because he punched something and all his knuckles were red,
That's what
and
I think.
that's how he hurt himself.
Because it's another injury and he doesn't want anyone to know about it. I think you're right. And I called this in January. Lance is on his way out, and Lance is on his way out because his dad wants a world championship.
It's the
And there's
Alonso.
no world
Yeah,
in which Aston Martin become world champs with Lance Stroll in the second seat. It just can't happen.
I mean, the only way it would happen is if Adrian Newey made a car that was faster by a second than everybody else, and all he had to do was not make mistakes.
That's a lot. That's a lot to put on a
But if you
Adrian
think
Newey.
about it, Alonso and Max Verstappen get along. So again, the Aston Martin Max story makes a lot of sense.
It does. But also, Alonso, he's not going to be on that world champ team.
Well,
He's 42.
he's done after 2026. He's gone
I
because
mean, he'll still be in the organization, but he's not going to be driving.
maybe Lance. Is it Lawrence?
Lawrence is his dad.
Maybe Lawrence Stroll could sponsor our podcast, get us 100 followers on F1 Chatbot.
Yeah, maybe. You going to reach out?
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Lawrence Stroll.
Yeah, so Lance is a ticking time bomb. So is Fernand. There's going to be huge changes for Aston Martin. I cannot wait. What about Williams? They're in the doldrums right now. What's going
What
on?
do you mean they're in the doldrums?
Well, last
They're having
race,
one
I
of the
mean.
they're having one of the best
Last
seasons
race, they were out of the points, weren't they?
Yeah, they didn't have the best race, but that's okay. That's
Yeah.
what happens. You can't like they're a midfield
I'm
team.
trying to get us onto F1 and you're getting angry at me again.
No, I know. I'm not. JB, this energy is nothing to do with you and anything in any way. It's all me. It's all on the inside, as you said before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I had a tough day with talking to insurance yesterday and also dealing with banks yesterday.
Ouch. How come?
From the moment you have to log in.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah.
It took me a half an hour to move money.
It's terrible.
Back to F1.
Okay.
So I'm going to make another bold prediction about Isaac Hadger.
Uh-huh.
Again, rookies do well on the track. I could
Yeah.
see him finishing in the top 5. And he's smart, by the way. Did you hear what he said in the news?
No.
He should keep saying it. I'm not ready for Red Bull. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not good.
And this leads to my prediction or my hope. I hope that he doesn't do well.
In Montreal.
Yeah, because
Why
he
is that?
does. Because subliminally he doesn't want to go to Red Bull.
Right.
So subliminally he'll tone it down. He won't be so aggressive. He won't take those risks because his subconscious is going to be like, you don't want to walk in voluntarily into that pit of vipers. Nobody does.
No, like Red Bull's biggest problem now is going to be that no one wants the seat.
Yeah. Nobody wants to drive that car. How does Yuki feel?
Like, I mean,
He's just like, how the fuck did I get here? And how is this an improvement over Racing Bulls?
Like who wants to sign Yuki next year?
Imagine Liam.
Yeah, same thing. He has to do better.
What if they call up Liam again?
He won't. He can't. You have to.
I hope they call up Liam again because that'll just spell the end of Red Bull. If they make some dumb thing like, it'll just be like, forget it. Horner, everything will implode, I think.
There is. I don't know if I remember there being, I mean, maybe there was a time at Michael Schumacher at Benetton there was a little bit of that, but the car was still like the second driver still did okay. But this Red Bull scenario is quite unique because, yeah, why would you want to get promoted to that team?
No, I don't think so. Max isn't happy. And do you believe the rumors around Ferrari and Horner? Or is that just
No,
more rumors?
there's no way. There's no way Horner is going to go to Ferrari, and Vasseur, they made a mistake. Ferrari made a big mistake. They made some changes to their car for this season, which they shouldn't have. I don't know why. They were on a trajectory with the evolution of their vehicle last year in a positive way, and then they made some big adjustments. Like they took some.
Well, how do you know you're going along making upgrades? How do you know you're like not going down? How do you know when to stop?
I don't know. We need a. It would be so fun to interview like a Formula One engineer. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
a former engineer that could actually say something.
Like
Yeah.
that could give us some. I think. Well, like I mean, last season they had a good. They were on the right way. You could see them doing well. They were winning races, but
Mhm.
then I believe they changed their suspension. They changed some major like underfloor or aerodynamics to their car, which was perhaps unnecessary, especially when there's major regulation changes in 2026. So just don't do anything. Just keep what you have and have some good
That's what
races.
McLaren's doing, right? They're just keeping what they have, and they keep their powder dry in practice.
I mean, McLaren's got themselves in a good situation here because if their car is truly dominant, right? Like, and they don't need to do as many upgrades for the season. They can start looking at next year.
I just think McLaren has to make sure that they put all their money behind Oscar
Whoa,
and quit fucking around.
whoa,
And that'll be a real gift to Lando, too. Because
wow!
what's worse than uncertainty?
That's you've just sparked. You've just made our podcast 15 minutes longer. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, I
Are
think
you
you
out of
got
your
to
mind?
choose one, and I think Oscar's clearly the one.
No, you can't choose yet.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
think.
choose yet
Why?
because
You have
there's
the evidence is in.
no. I don't think that's true. There's 2/3 of the season to go.
No, we're almost halfway.
There's there's 24 races, and we're in race 8 or race 9.
Okay, maybe 2/3.
Okay, whatever. But the point is, there's too many races to decide that Oscar needs the backing. Second, they might be slowly creeping up and getting further and further away from any competition, right? That they don't need to define that. The other point on that is, well, what if somehow Red Bull and Max get the car in the right zone and it starts doing well and they pin the tail to the donkey to the wrong guy? Because then all of a sudden what happens is maybe McLaren has 3 engine failures with Piastri and they were backing him the whole time. And now it's only Lando and because they didn't give them equal support, Lando's not in a position to fight Max anymore.
I think it's highly unlikely, and I think they really have to guard against themselves.
Ah,
They have to guard against their own papaya rules that even though they say are gone, there are still vestigial elements going on. Also, Will Joseph. Is that his name?
I don't know, but I know I'm getting older because sometimes I just can't swallow.
Yeah, that happens to me too. I can choke on my own saliva. Well, their strategy isn't airtight, and we've seen this in the past. I think it'd be really smart if they gave themselves some boundaries and just put all their energy towards Oscar right now, and that would free up Lando to be the underdog, and it would make it would motivate him. And instead of this, maybe, it's like the girl who's playing off two guys, or vice versa. I think you put your money where your mouth is. You've got all the evidence. Look at Oscar. It's the evidence is in.
Well, he's
The
definitely
evidence was in last year.
mentally and emotionally, it seems like he is
You got
like
to do this before 2026 and everything changes.
I. I'm still not convinced. I still think that Lando
You're a
is the
little
fast.
bit more convinced, though. A little bit?
Well, I mean, only because history would suggest that teams that got behind one driver and just did it, it was easier for them to win the drivers' championship. So it's hard for me to argue against that, but because I'm insane, I can.
Your words.
So I really don't. I think if they got behind one driver, then I think what would end up happening is you would actually create more animosity, and then Lando would start doing and driving for himself. And then that would then create further complications because I know that's what I would do. If they went, it's Oscar, I'd be like, no, forget that. I'm going to race for myself. Then you guys know I'm on my own. I'm on an
Now
island. I'll
we're
just do it.
talking. Now that brings me to my hopings.
Oh, reading the hoping sections. We never did a mince, no mince.
Oh, should we? It's an hour 5.
Whatever. No one watches this. We're just going to cut it down to clips. And then we just become this amazing clip social media monster.
So do people just watch clips now?
Yes.
How do you make money off of clips?
I don't know. We need to create our own TikTok, and then we'll be billionaires.
You mean we need to create our own
social media platform? That's what. Yeah, compete against these guys.
Okay, dude. How about some mince, no mince?
Mince, no mince. Okay, I'm going to mince my words. I'm going to mince my words with Lawson. I can't remember, what does mince mean again? Mince means I'm going to tear apart. No, mince means I'm going to mince, and no mince means I'm going to really lay in. I love that we don't know our own bits.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching stand-up comedians most of the time. Mince, no mince. My mince for Lawson is I think that by the end of the year, he'll be on equal footing with Isaac Hadjar.
Mm-hmm. How come?
And I just think that I think his confidence was destroyed. Right.
Right.
So, hey, we've actually had a Twitch viewer. Look at this. Did you see that? Someone, Naya.
Isn't it just a bot?
It could be.
Like when you went on Craigslist, Craig would always be following you.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just a bot. I don't know. Maybe they just leave a comment and then we know they're not a bot. But then bots leave comments.
Sure.
So back to so I think he's going to get on equal footing with Isaac Hadjar, and then that presents a problem again for Red Bull and what they're going to do. Now here's my no mince. For all the F1 commentators, I don't know. I've watched a bunch, whether it's ITV, whether it's the F1 channel, like the main one. Can everyone just say? Can they just say it and stop being around the bush? What Max Verstappen did was a choice. There's no rational way to justify what he did. Everyone's saying, well, he got upset about the tires, and then he got upset about this.
Some people say it. Some people actually say it.
Who said it?
Victoria Pinkham said it.
Victoria Pinkham. Oh, but you're, I'm not sure.
On
I know.
Sky.
Okay. Did she?
Yeah, she said it. And Tom, the guy who's smiling all the time, Tom
Clarkson, no.
Tom Clarkson. It was wonderful to talk to Sebastian Vettel about his career. I really enjoy. He does a lot of teeth sucking, and he calls Victoria Pinkham Pinks all the time. It's Naomi's cousin, and she said it. She gets quite. I love her. She's like, I've had it with this guy.
Because I was blown away how many people were like,
oh, me too.
Like Chandok was doing it. Everyone was doing it. I'm like,
everybody was like, I'm shocked. I can't believe what happened. I'm still processing it. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
You know, like it's just he was mad and he made a decision.
He lost his cool and he made a decision. And who was it? Was it Damon who said black flag?
Well, I think there was a few people. Nico Rosberg said it should have been a black flag.
Nico Rosberg said it.
And Martin Bartle said it should have been the full 4 points, in which case he would have been suspended.
Yeah.
So they were quite lenient. And then, Martin Brundle also said, which I like this. He goes like, if I was other F1 drivers right now, I'd be goading Max into getting another penalty pony.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Now that's something Max would do,
Yeah.
right? He would oh, that's okay, great. What's your mints, no mints?
I didn't prepare one.
Well, I didn't either. I just made one up.
I've got hopings, though.
Okay, give me some hopings.
I'm hoping that this weekend there are some upsets. I really love it when not the usual suspects, the unusual suspects, are in the driver's area at the end getting interviewed, are up on the podium, because seeing the Maxes and the Oscars, I don't know, it does get a little boring. The predictions of all the pundits on the podcast I listen to, it's always the same. Same as this driver of the day, it's always the same four people.
Sounds like this is part of your no mints about the quality of the racing of F1.
Oh,
Your
maybe it
hopings
is a
is
no
turning into a
mince.
no mints.
My hopings, no mince. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping that there's upsets, because who doesn't love an underdog? I'm also hoping everything goes smoothly in Montreal, because it's our home race, and I can't wait to get there next year. And I especially want to go there for like the corollary stuff, like partying on St. Catharines, the people watching on free practice. I'm less excited about watching a race because, you know, as I said last episode, I really like listening to sports talk radio. I don't necessarily need to see every single game.
Well, I agree. That's why I watch F1 and football, because there's a limited number of events.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah,
watch it.
that's true. 84 hockey games is way too much.
I think, JB, that you'll be satisfied. I think there's a strong potential that the podium will be a slightly uniquer podium, because Formula One in Montreal often tosses up some exciting results.
Let's you be right about the rookie.
So I think there'll be a safety car. There's going to be a safety
How come?
car because the walls are close.
So someone's going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
Who's it going to be? Is it
Well,
going to
it
be
probably
Lance
will be a
Stroll?
rookie. It probably will be a rookie.
Yeah.
It'll
be a Liam. Will it be a Liam? Or better
not be a Lando. Better not be a Lando.
Colapinto? Could be a Colapinto.
Oh, it's a Colapinto. Boy, that is that's a nosedive.
Yeah.
Right? Like Flavio. What?
It's not a huge surprise.
No.
You bring in an addled septuagenarian. And
what?
Addled septuagenarian, somebody in their 70s.
Where do you get these words from?
That's not an uncommon word.
What are you talking about?
Everybody knows septuagenarians are people in their 70s.
Now you're just showing off.
That's not a $10 word.
That is a $10 word. I've never heard it before.
Anyways, if they think they can get Alpine up to snuff to sell it at the end of the year, they're sorely mistaken. I know this isn't even a hot take, but Gasly wants out of there so badly. He could return to Red Bull. He would rather be at Red Bull than with this gazillionaire who honestly, I think he's suffering from cognitive malfunction.
Here's what's crazy about Alpine. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney are some owners in that team. They're investors in that team.
That's another reason. I mean, they went and done lucky with Rexall. Is that what they're called? Wrexham. Right? You think those guys have the Midas touch and they're just going to go over to another sport and have the same luck? Not a chance, my friend. This is where they lose all their money. This is where they get taken. They had beginner's luck. This time they're going to be like, okay, we went a little too far. We should have stuck with gin, television, and rugby.
Formula One is fierce. And it is not for someone to just joyfully walk into the paddock and think that they can accomplish something. It is the Shark Tank with the most sharks. There is no doubt. I've been a fan for 30 years of Formula One, and the skullduggery and the menacing behavior of these business minds is
Yes.
it's
Well, the vultures are circling France's team because a billionaire or a consortium loves a bargain.
Mhm.
So they're seeing Alpine plummet and they're just like, yes, hit
So let
rock
me
bottom, then I'll swoop in and take you.
what about this as a theory? Two things first. You were saying one how lucky they were with Wrexham,
Mm,
and I won't necessarily say that they're lucky, but the the system that is the football league in England, that whole setup of the different divisions allows for teams to come from nothing and rise. Like it's designed. Formula One is not designed that way.
right.
Formula One is way trickier. Like the rules of engagement and the handcuffs, if you will, the shackles, the weights that slow you down are they don't care. They're like, no way. You want to do it? You got to spend $600 million to get into the place. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Well, Peter Windsor was talking about that.
What if Alpine and that the owners, that consortium wants it to go down because they're part of a new structure, a new buyer, a new system? Like maybe there's some advantage of the value of Alpine not being as high for some people that are buying it. Maybe there's more
For
puppetry.
people on the inside.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they can buy, because they can dollar cost average on the way down.
Yeah,
So they've got hopings too.
they got Hopies.
They've got hopings that Alpine is going to hit a nadir, and then they're going to buy even more. So maybe
Like,
Rob.
isn't that what all the smart, rich, powerful stock market folk do? Like if you're Warren Buffett, you're like, let's slowly sell our shares in this company. That'll slowly bring the price down, and then we've gotten out. Yes, but now we can buy in and make up all those profits because we'll buy a whole bunch later.
I mean, I don't think. Is that selling short? I don't think he ever does that.
Well, I mean, he
I
might
think
be
he
the wrong
buys
example, but
companies.
big people who
Yeah,
have large shares in big companies will slowly sell off to bring it, and then they'll come back in and buy a bunch when it's low, and then
yeah,
because
yeah,
all
absolutely.
the individual traders whose trades don't even actually matter on the
No,
grand scheme of
like
things.
you and me.
Yeah, like our trades go to something called dark trades.
That's why I don't do it anymore. I don't gamble
You're
because I'll
smart.
never win.
That's right. But you know what? I appreciate your gamble on this podcast.
That's a nice way to end it. Is that what you're doing? Are we
Yeah,
wrapping it up?
yeah, we had to.
I'll put my money on you any day, Milky.
Phew. I mean, thank you.
This is when the Golden Girls theme song should
Um,
kick in.
thank you for being a friend. Don't travel
Travel down that
down
road
the
and
track
back
again.
again.
Dun, dun, dun,
You're a part of me.
dun.
You're a friend and a confidant.
Dun, dun, dun. If
And
we
if I
threw
threw a
a
party
party
and
and
invited
invited
everyone you
everyone you knew,
knew, you
you
would
would
see
see
the
the
greatest
greatest
gift
gift
would
for
be
me.
from me. And the
The
card
card
attached
attached
would
said,
read, Thank
"Thank
you
you
for
for being a
being a
friend." Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna learn that song on the guitar.
sit, Ubu, sit.
Yeah.
Good dog. Remember? Dun,
Yes,
dun, 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 dun.
and
And
that's
then
how
20th Century Fox. Ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-bum-bum-bum-ba. And then Good Times would come on.
good. Which was that show?
Um, Temporary layoffs, good times. Ain't we lucky we got it? Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Good times.
Oh God, you're good.
Norman Lear. You
Please,
know,
please
you
bring
know
back
who,
sitcoms.
you know who, created Golden Girls is Sam Harris's mom.
I don't know who Sam Harris is.
Oh. He's got a popular podcast. He's a philosopher, neuroscientist.
We're philosophers.
Damn it, we had an ending and then we blew right by it, didn't we?
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, Naya Dowo, the bot, is okay. She's okay with it.
I'm gonna go have a little snacky poo, and then I'm gonna lift some weights. What are you gonna do now?
I'm going to pack because I'm going to go visit my mom. And also, we're going to schedule a technical meeting.
Technical meeting, yes. Are we doing a podcast tomorrow after the race?
We can try. I can bring my stuff if you want. I'll do it. Why don't we? I mean, the race is going to be, I'm definitely going to have beers. I'm having barbecues and beers. I'm going to make it a big thing tomorrow.
What time is the race tomorrow? Let's look at the schedule.
I think the race tomorrow for you is 4:30. No, it's 2:30.
2:30?
So it's like 11:30 for me. This is great. This is riveting podcasting right now.
Yeah. There it is. 2:00 is the race.
Okay.
So tomorrow night.
Maybe I should do the podcast on my phone, bring the mic. I don't know if am I able to do that? And then I should just film me, my mom, and all my family watching the race. Imagine if we did that.
Oh, that's fun. Are you going to watch it with your whole family?
Yeah, I'll watch it with my mom, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
She's 90. She still loves it. She loves Lewis.
Wow, me too. You're not going to watch it with your brothers?
Tony's out of town. Peter might watch it. Peter's like he's been bored of it for about 15 years now.
Oh, okay.
He's like, it's always one guy or one team that does really well.
Yeah,
how does this sport manage to still function?
It's true. It's true. We need some upsets, God damn it. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow after the race.
Okay, and that's maybe we'll connect a little later today or tomorrow before that as well.
And do a technical thing?
Maybe. Because if we're going to record then maybe we should try and figure that out.
Well, you should bring the same setup you have right now.
Okay, I'll bring
your mic.
I'll bring it all.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
All right. JB, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
The pleasure was mine.
No, you can't. If the pleasure was mine first, you can't have my pleasure.
I love you.
Oh, that you can have. Okay.